Good morning, guys. Sorry I didn't really film much last night. I just kind of chilled out for the night and kind of took it easy. Then went to bed at like 9:30, I think. So I decided to go to bed kind of early, because I was freaking exhausted. But holy shit, that was a rough first night, though. I'll say that much. It was fucking cold. And like, my body wasn't so much cold, it was just my feet. My feet were freezing all night long, and I could not get my feet to warm up. Oh, I'm still trying to get them warmed up right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up, get the fire going, try to get my feet warmed up. And yeah, it's like 10:30 now, so technically it's kind of like I slept 12 hours, but I swear I think I only actually slept for like 3 or 4, if that. This is just, that was cold. The wind kept shifting. I had wind coming right in through my opening and then just bouncing off the wall and just shooting back at me. And yeah, the wind was pretty bad throughout the night. And then, yeah, I just could not get my feet to warm up at all. So, holy shit, yeah, it was a rough first night. But I came up with some ideas, and I'm gonna redo the shelter today. And hopefully, the way I redo it should hopefully help keep a lot more heat in and be a little more comfortable. So I'm gonna get the fire going, and then I'm gonna get to work on redoing the shelter. So hopefully I can get it done the way I'm thinking. So the way I'm thinking of doing it is definitely gonna push the opening a lot closer to the fire, so hopefully that heat can get brought in here a lot more, and at least hopefully get my feet a lot more. So yeah, we'll go ahead, get the fire going, and start redoing the shelter. Okay, so I forgot to start recording before I started this, but as you can see, I've made a lot bigger opening right here to the fire, and then it's gonna go slightly down into the A-frame at the back to help hold a little more heat in the back area. So see how it ends up working. Well, there we go. There it is, completed, the new shelter. Now I can crawl in here without actually having to duck down, and then it gets smaller there in the back, so that way any heat from the fire that gets blown in gets trapped in the back there, and then my body heat will not escape as much. Got a lot more room. Got everything piled up kind of. But yeah, we got her built. That should last, because one, it's not supposed to really rain, I don't think, anymore, and if it does, it's not going to be too much, so I'm not worried about it sinking in. And if it does sink in a little bit, I can always raise it up a little bit to drain it off. So, but if I get the fire roaring right before I go to sleep, I should be able to blow enough heat in there to keep me warm. So, and you can see too, I use this natural tree right here as actually one of my poles for this outside. So that worked perfectly to use it for that. Probably would have liked it to be a little closer to the fire, but of course I don't want it too close. So I think that should work now though. See how it does. There's these two ducks over there I've been watching for a minute. Both just chilling over in the lake, enjoying the nice weather and having a swim. That one with the green head and white back, I forget the kind of duck it is, but he's freaking huge. Oh, duck down. They hid. I don't know where they went. Oh, they're up on the shoreline. I see him. Yeah, he's just right there. It's pretty blurry. Yeah, I just want to show you guys the ducks chilling. And this is the life. No. Yeah, with all the bullshit going on around the world, I mean, it was pretty nice just to get back and just chill out here and kind of just forget about everything for a couple days. I gotta tell you, I've been getting really fed up with a lot of the crap going on. I mean, ever since the whole convid crap, that whole fucking giant fucking psyop for the past couple years we've dealt with, to frickin' now with the frickin' prices of everything and the fucking bullshit war with Russia and all the other crap. And it's like lately, fucking we can't get a break from anything. These fucking elites keep fucking doing all this shit, and then especially now with all their frickin' anti-gun crap after these couple mass shootings that they fucking organized and planned out to set everyone up. Getting all that crap going, and now, yeah, it's just been, it's a shit show. It was a shit show. And it's nice to get out and enjoy stuff like this, because if in a couple years we probably won't be able to do this anymore. So I'd say if you can, get out and do this while you can. Because if they get their way, then only they'll be allowed to ever come out and do anything like this. Or the elites will be the only ones allowed to come do stuff like this if they get their way. And even then, they won't be able to do it like this. They'll still keep all their luxuries and all that crap. But they want to make it so none of us can come out and do this, though. So, enjoy these things while you can. Crazy to think, I haven't looked into it, but it'd be crazy to see, like, or think about back when whoever it was that first found, like, places like this, these little lakes buried up in the mountains like this. Because, yeah, they didn't have trails or nothing, and I guarantee you it's probably most likely found before satellites. I'd have to look up to make sure, but just think, they just hike out here and, like, not even knowing what they're walking to or towards, and they got no trails, nothing. But then they finally get to a place like this, and I can only imagine the satisfaction of them to have found something like this tucked away in the mountains. I keep getting all the ash blowing in my face. I'm gonna have to cut some more firewood here in a minute. I love when I get the opportunity to do this because I only get to do this kind of thing like once a year. And I had to move it up a month early this year, which is probably why it's also still pretty cold out. Because I usually do this at the end of July when it's a lot warmer. Just because I'm not a professional survivalist or anything like that. I am very much beginner to on the beginning edge of amateur at best. But because last year, I had to move it up a month because last year we had a bunch of fire restrictions come in, so you couldn't have fire pits or nothing like that. And so I had to end up canceling my trip. I went out for a night, but without having a fire, there's really no point. You can't do nothing without having a fire. So I ended up calling it quits on a day after a night, just because there's no point to do it without a fire. So I made sure I came out a month early so I could avoid that, so I could make sure I actually could have a campfire. Especially if I do catch a fish, I need to have a fire to cook the damn thing. Glad I got to come out and do it this time. And actually be able to stay a couple days. Yeah, and this lake is pretty nice. This is where I came out last year, but I stayed over in another spot, and I remember the name of the lake as a kid, because me and my dad went hiking up here, and actually I think we went to a different lake, but we just got them confused. So there's another lake that I went to a couple years ago, and I keep calling that one Salamander, and it's not. I can't remember the name right now, but I remember that's the one that I think me and my dad went to, and for some reason me and him both get confused and think that one was Salamander. But no, because this one's Salamander, and I don't remember me and him ever coming up to this one. We might have, but I remember the other lake going to, and I was thinking that one was Salamander though. So regardless though, either way, it's still nice to come out to it. Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, I used to never be like a outdoorsy camping kind of guy either. Because I was more of your typical little city kid or little country kid trying to be a city kid, being a little punk, and I just never got into camping or going out into the wilderness or anything like that. But once I got to about 23 and started learning about how the world really works and where the world was heading and everything, I realized how important it was to come actually know how to do this kind of stuff. So I appreciate it a lot more, and am definitely a lot more happy to be out here now than I used to be. 'Cause I grew up in the mountains doing this kind of stuff. I always liked camping. We always did it with tents or campers, and it was pretty easy and just fun and relaxed, and which I always had fun doing that. But just to go drive around or go hiking and stuff, I enjoyed it somewhat, but I've always felt like I could do something different or be doing something that I thought was more important. But no. As I got older though, I realized how important doing this kind of thing is, just to get out and go camping, especially to try to do it a little rougher than most people. setting up a shelter out of sticks and a tarp instead of a tent, and just, yeah, trying to just live as rough as I can. I mean, hell, I don't even have any extra food. Really, I only had that 1 can of chicken noodle soup, then 4 energy bars, which I only got 1 of those left. So I'm gonna save that for before the hike to give me that little boost of energy before I have to hike back out. So basically, at this point, if I don't get a fish or something later on, then I'm pretty much shit out of luck for food. So that's what it's gonna have to do. At least when I get back, if I don't eat, when I do get back, I'm gonna end up chowing down like crazy. But it's the struggle we all need to get used to, because this is how everyone's gonna have to live. Granted, it'll be a lot easier, I think, in a post event, because you'll have houses and other things you can raid and do things like that. But regardless, you're not going to always be able to have food or resources. So you're going to have to get used to making do with what you have and going a few days without food. Because we have that pretty good with how we have it now, where we can just get anything we want at any time. We don't realize what it's like to sit out and kind of struggle and have to go days without anything. And how hard it is, like, just even get some water. Like, if I want water, I have to hike down to a stream, fill my canteen up, and let it sit over the fire to boil. And then I gotta let it boil for 10 minutes to make sure it's clean. So, I mean, even then, it's still not that hard to do, but some places, yeah, you gotta walk far as shit to find any water that you could possibly try to boil down. Because, there's those little puddles and ponds around here, but with still water like that, you don't want to try drinking out of that. Yeah, you could boil it, but even then, it still wouldn't be a guaranteed. So the fact to have a little stream of running water makes that really nice, that I can dip into that to get good water that I can boil. But, yeah, we all take a lot of our shit for granted that we have. Having everything right there. And it's nice to come out here and get a little humbled to realize that it could be a lot rougher, and then to get and put yourself in the situation to get a little understanding and used to it, I think is very key in what a lot of people need to be doing. They need to get used to going without for a few days at least. I kind of got that. I do a lot of bitching and complaining about my life and other things going on, but to come out here to do this really kind of humbles you up to realize how good you do got it. So that's why I think it's good for me to come out and do this at least once a year. Wish I could do it more often, but you gotta work and do other things, like everyone. But hopefully it gets to a point where I don't have to do my normal job, and I can do, hopefully with this YouTube thing, hopefully just rely on that and give me the opportunity to come out and do things like this more often. And it's definitely a different kind of feeling to be all the way out here isolated away, not having no one around for miles, not seeing or hearing any signs of people other than the occasional airplane. But I actually like it. It's nice to get away and just have time to yourself for a couple days and not have to worry about people driving by, walking by, hollering at you, or anything like that. You can just sit out here and be yourself and be at peace. I need to get more firewood though. Really need to get chopping more firewood. I was just sitting here chilling, and I saw a little mouse go running between those logs right there. Hoping we can maybe see him. Hopefully he'll stick his head out and we can maybe get a good glimpse of him here. There, I saw him running between those. A little mouse. I don't want to. Oh, there he goes. There you go, little buddy. Dang, he's just a tiny little guy. He was probably just coming over to say hi, see what was happening over here. Yeah, he probably just went ahead and bailed out. See if he comes back by or not later. Alright guys, so I got to the fishing pond, and I haven't seen many signs of fish. I saw one fish jump a little bit ago, so I got my line out right now to see if maybe I can actually catch something. This is the fishing pole that I ended up making, and so I got my line on it, and then I used the pop top from my chicken noodle soup can as a line guide. So now we just sit and wait, and hopefully we catch something. So I was sitting here fishing, and I saw something swim up over to this log here, and I couldn't tell really what it was. So I'm trying to get up. He's right on the other side there. You can see him kind of splashing around. I'm gonna try to get a look at what this guy is. I got my line in the water though, so I don't want to walk too far. I don't really want to bug him. I want to let him do his thing, but I want to see what he is. See if we can catch a glimpse of him. Where'd you go, little buddy? I almost want to say it might have been a beaver. Where'd you go, buddy? Yeah, I almost want to say it was a damn beaver. Oh, he's hiding from me right now. I'll walk away from him. See if he comes back out. You know, nothing really beats nights like this. You're just sitting here, taking it all in, watching nature do its thing, enjoying the sound of the campfire, and you just can't help but beat moments like this. Watching the sun go down. I mean, yeah, of course there's times through this trip where you want to just go back home, sit in front of TV, and eat food that's right there ready to be made. But you just get those moments where you don't think about that, and you'll even stop thinking for a moment, which for me is hard to do. But I'll sit here, just stop thinking, and kind of just listen and take everything in. And even though, it's easy to go home and even just watch the guys on alone do this. And I'm definitely not doing this near as long or anything as they are, but it'd be easy to just pack up and go. But, when you're sitting here alone and hungry, you can't help also but to feel like you're surrounded by company. You got the birds, the bats, got the ducks down by the lake, and all the other critters that are running around. Like, you just know you're in their habitat and you just get to watch them do their thing, and it's a pretty amazing deal to just sit back and take in. And this is the kind of thing we've all gotten away from in modern society. We don't know how to just kick back and just take in what nature has to offer. Hell, most people I know, when they even come out here, they come out, they jam music or do just party or do other stuff, or you got campers and other people around and other campsites with people on their motorbikes or other things, and you never really get the chance to actually just try to sit and just be kind of one with everything. So it's nice to get back and do that, where you can just be alone and
just be one with whatever's around you.
Just to be alone with whatever nature has to show you and teach you. Trust me, it will. Even if you're doing this just for a short time, not even roughing it too hard, it'll still teach you a few things. And that's something the kind of lessons we all need every now and then. And it's nothing you can describe, it's something you can only get for yourself.